they built this lead just outworking.
Greg, that was definitely an effort play right there. You talk about that all the time, fighting to get proper position, then slamming home the putback.
Yep, and if they can maintain this energy level, their lead will be safe.
To give you an idea of how young this 76er team is, at one point last season, Greg, Tim Duncan had more seasons played in the NBA than the entire active roster of the 76ers.
That's hard to fathom. I mean, we all know there's this youth movement going on in Philadelphia, but they still need some veterans in that locker room. Very hard for the young players to lead.
Now here's Wall. Dwight Howard missing his last shot. And Wall. Here we go now. And he banks in the layup.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
The 76ers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Wall against Curry. Passes to Howard. And he goes in for the dunk.
Boy, he wanted everybody in the building to know who threw that one down.
Hanging on the rim is, I guess, one way to do it.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, you want to make sure you don't get teed up from a situation like that.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Nowitzki gets a wide open look. Cavaliers with the rebound. In transition, here come the Cavaliers. Winslow's running.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Now here's Curry. And it's Ariza in the corner. Over to the left wing. Nowitzki, that's for 2. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
And guys, the Spurs coaching tree extends pretty far these days. Coach Brett Brown, another former member of the Spurs staff, to be leading an NBA team.
Here is Wall. He dishes it to Monroe. Sweet move. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And Greg Monroe really has had a good young career despite playing out of position for much of it. He has the size and skill set of an agile center, but was made to play power forward in Detroit once they drafted Andre Drummond, and that took some getting used to.
And the basket by Curry.
It's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Wall dishes to Booker. Back to Wall. Monroe with a screen on Curry. Over in the corner, Arthur. 6 to shoot. That's short off the rim. We're talking about Greg Monroe, and Greg, you gave us a nice little synopsis. He doesn't have, Clark, the long-range jumper teams are now asking out of that position in this day and age in the NBA.
Yeah, more teams want that stretch power forward. He's not super athletic. Where he does his greatest damage is in the painted area. There's still value in that.
And here's Booker after the three-pointer from Stephen Curry. The drive by Monroe, and it's sent back by Nowitzki. Booker the pass to Arthur. And another miss by Cleveland.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Curry kicks to Howard. Wall with the steal. For the finish, and it's blocked by Curry, and they'll keep possession. Arthur, no good.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop.
Now here's Nowitzki. Clock at 6. Fades and shoots. Arthur grabs the board. The Cavaliers trail by 5. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket. Great pass. John Wall is really good at finding the open man.
And one thing we know about Justice Winslow, he is great on the big stage. He was amazing in the tournament for Duke a season ago. Got better and better as he helped his school capture the national championship.
And the 76ers with a completely new group now. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Monroe. Len comes in for Terrell Arthur. Kennedy's checked in for Winslow. And George Hill's subbed in for John Wall. With Winslow, it's all about improvement and being great on the big stage. I think he can do that, Greg. You talked about, you know, what he did in the national championship run. Clark, he was a fantastic foundation to begin with.
Yeah, you know what? He's not got many holes in his game. Solid at the defensive end, can score a lot of ways. Puts his hands on winning at both ends of the floor.
Now here's Anderson. The kick out to Rose, and there's the 3-second violation. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Hill against Rose. Hill up top. He kicks it to Booker. Cannon from long range. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. No short. And Dwight Howard, a lightning rod figure around the league, subject to a lot of criticism, but he says he takes comfort in playing the game.
Basketball, this is my passion. You know, on the court, it's my sanctuary. You know, I want to have fun.
It's an interesting concept that Dwight has to take something very seriously in order to have fun. He does say he has a burning passion to win a championship. He's been in the finals, and this is a guy that's got still a lot to shoot for, he feels, in his career.
That's a great point, Kevin. And the challenge for Dwight is how to balance how serious he is and how passionate he is with having that fun on the court that he's after.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. What stands out to you guys from the 76ers in this one?
Just the start they're looking for in this game. Solid offensively through the first.
Very crisp and sharp, not much stagnation at all on offense.
C.J. Miles is out there with Ryan Anderson. Then it's Garrett Temple. Then it's Rose. And it's Bekovic in at the 5 spot. That's the group in the game for the 76ers.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
Really?
Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Hill, no good. The 76ers leading by 6.
Now, one spot the Cavs did struggle with last year was help off the bench. They were last in the league in bench scoring.
There's the pick. Temple dishes to Anderson. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Cannon kicks to Hill. Varejao setting the pick for Hill. Off the screen. And he hits the jumper for 2. Cavs not scoring with a lot of their bench. A big part of that is they just didn't go to their bench very often.
Well, you talk about the Cavs and the bench near the bottom in total bench minutes played. The bench didn't have a lot of firepower, didn't shoot the ball well, and considering they got limited minutes, oftentimes struggled to find any kind of rhythm out there.
Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, with the 111 first-place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. We know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history?
Screen by Monroe. Hill drives in. Count it, and the 76ers lead has been cut down to 4 on the bucket from Monroe.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done. You know, looking back to Rose's MVP award, his stats were on another planet that year. He was only the 3rd player to record 2,000 points and 600 assists in a single season since 1973. The other 2, LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Dishes it to Ariza. Here's Bekovic, and he bangs it home with one hand.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points. You know, in talking about D. Rose, I don't think the individual awards mean much to him. He's about trying to help his team win championships, and that's the kind of mindset he has to continue to display.
Here's Nowitzki. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Now it's a 5-point Philadelphia lead. Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, his fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitive, right? That's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Howard's checked in for the 76ers. Curry comes in for Derrick Rose, and he gets it to go. 7 points for Steph Curry.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Arthur kicks to Monroe, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Clark, maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
It could be, Kevin. I mean, a dunk like that can sometimes get an opponent reeling.
On its way from Curry for 2. And a great job by the D contesting that shot and forcing the miss.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injury. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Monroe. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And now just a 3-point 76ers lead.
And, you know, back to D. Rose. He grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
And Philadelphia calls time here. And the 76ers making a change here. Rose is checked in. The 76ers leading by 3. Curry passes to Ariza. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Ariza's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, well done to finish that one off.
It's Wall with the drop.
And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that you know, just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. Ariza dishes to Rose. Here's Howard. Hits some rim on the way in, and the Howard's good. And it's a 7-point 76ers lead. To the inside. And it's sent back by Howard. The shot and game clock separated by 4. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. For Philadelphia, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. Derrick Rose. And he makes the first.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
A big group substitution here for Cleveland. Anderson Varejão's checked in for Monroe. Alex Len comes in for Jarrell Arthur. Booker, he's checked in for Winslow. And it's Cannon in for George Hill. Wall against Rose. Outside, Wall.
I think this is.
1 second left. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. 70.
Hey, Kevin, with Derrick Rose. Derrick, how does it feel to get back out there on the basketball floor here for the new season ahead?
It feels good, man, especially playing with my teammates. We have new teammates. We're just trying to come out here and just play hard and compete.
Great to have you back, Derrick. Kevin, back to you.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The Jet Smith, and an exciting time of the year as the first game of the regular season is halfway through. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. The biggest lead for them during the period was 6. They showed their superiority in the second quarter and got well out in front, taking a 9-point lead into the locker room at the half. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the 76ers?
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. Matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, keep going, bench guys.
And Kenny, what'd you see from Cleveland?
Can this team please get fired up on defense? I mean, get angry, get upset. Guys are way too soft and giving up way too many good looks. At some point, you got to draw the line in the sand. Be like, okay, who's crossing this line?
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back.
And welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go, having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. Greg Monroe with a strong contribution so far in this one.
I tell you what, though, it's going to be important to see if they can slow him down in the second half, because so far they have not had anybody that can disrupt his rhythm down low.
Well, how about guys mixing up the looks? I mean, bump him out a little bit, fronting, doubling, anything to try to get him off his rhythm.
And so in the game for the Cavaliers, we've got Arthur all out there with Booker. Then it's Winslow, and it's Monroe in at the 5 down low.
I see.
Well, guys, how good a playmaker is John Wall? Second in assists last season to Chris Paul. Clark, he almost finished number 1.
Yeah, and the only difference really is that Paul was a little more efficient than Wall. Paul had a 4-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Wall was only at 2.5 to 1. But some of that is Paul's experience.
And Curry, here we go. That's good. Curry's got 14 points.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Screen by Monroe. No one near Wall as he lets it go. That 3 off the mark. The 76ers leading by 8. Nowitzki kicks to Curry. Screen by Howard. Curry passes to Nowitzki. Back to Curry. Here's the 3. No good. And Cleveland the other way now. And Wall. Here we go now. The feed to Arthur. Inside. Here's Monroe. Makes a fantastic move and nails the shot. 13 points in the game.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Here's Curry. Looks a big height house and goes in. And the 76ers lead by 8.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. Well, the plan has been obvious now, Clark, for a while. The 76ers really loading up on young players, letting them see a lot of minutes, and we're hoping it's going to bear some fruit, as you like to say, coming up.
Exactly, and it will in time because they've accumulated some really nice young talent, Kevin.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what the Cavaliers head coach was saying to his team. He told his guys that their offense needed to run through Monroe. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris. Curry kicks to Moore. Shot clock at 5. And finished off by Anderson.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Arthur dishes to Booker. No good with the triple.
And with the 76ers, it's not just on the floor that they have stifled the progress. They've taken 2 top picks knowing they would sit out a full year just to rehab injuries.
Screen by Monroe. Right wing. And Booker kicks to Hill. From downtown. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
And Steph Curry, 6'3" and about 195. I mean, a slender frame. You look back to high school and college, and that was one of the question marks. Did he have the strength to succeed?
Derrick Rose is checked in for Philadelphia. Cleveland also making some changes. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Monroe. Alex Len comes in for Jarrell Arthur. And it's Cannon in for Winslow. Here's Hill. 5 points in the game. Kicks it to Booker. Can they get it? Oh, that's blocked.
Get that out of here.
There's a minute 47 left in the third. And Curry, here we go.
He was gone.
Hill with it. Cleveland moving the ball around to the paint. Here's Cannon. Cannot hit. And Philadelphia the other way now. And speaking of Curry's slight build, he's worked up and bulked himself. He's added some muscle. He even got up to 200 pounds, I think he said. But he didn't feel real good, Clark, at that weight.
Yeah, it's not about the weight, Kevin. It's about strength. You need it to fight through screens and attack the rim, and he's clearly put on the strength he needs to play at his highest level.
Garrett Temple has checked in for Steph Curry. Cannon, the pass to Len. Outside Hill. And there's the pass to Varejao, and he gets it to go. Varejau's got his second basket of the game. The 76ers leading by 12. Rose goes in, battles through traffic, and lays it in.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Pick by Varejao. Hill dishes to Cannon. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Rose, good.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
Rose is taking
the dish to Booker. Feeds to Cannon. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Hill. From deep three-point range. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
That's what I was wondering.
Now here's Rose. No good. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. The Cavaliers trail by 14. Derrick Rose is out there with Gordon. Then it's Trevor Ariza. Then there's Nowitzki. And it's Howard in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
Wow, you don't see him make plays like that very often. That's a nice move there for the basket.
And it's Gordon penetrating. Winslow's checked in for Alex Len. Well, I think all 3 of us agree John Wall, a tremendous all-around player.
Outstanding. Speed was what jumped out at me most when I saw him first at Kentucky. Now he's been able to harness that speed as a pro, and he makes plays that very few can make as a point guard.
He gives you a lot of different looks, doesn't he?
He sure does.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. He said, we are this close to finishing them off, but the job is not done yet, and I don't want to see any let-up out there. We'll see how well his point got across, guys.
The Cavaliers trail by 14.
And guys, John Wall, obviously one of the most electrifying players to enter the league in some time. Unreal body control, tremendous length and athleticism for a point guard. And that's one of the reasons he gets so many steals, blocks, and rebounds. All the extra things from his position that really add up.
Second free throw, no good.
And, you know, guys, for Wall, the one thing he's still ironing out is his shooting stroke. It looks better every year, but doesn't necessarily go in more often, especially from three. But even if he never becomes a great shooter, I think he'll remain one of the game's best all-around talents.
Knocked loose. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
Just a total loss of concentration right there.
And, Greg, if they continue to make those kinds of mistakes, then this game could turn even more south on them. And south.
Steph Curry's checked in for Rose. Timeout call, the 76ers. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And guys, you talk about ascendant stars in the NBA, none brighter than Steph Curry, the leading vote getter for the All-Star game a season ago. But what I love, he doesn't let it go to his head. I mean, he remains grounded and focused on winning.
What I like, though, about Stephen Curry also is his demeanor, Clark. He cheers on his teammates, keeps his head up through adversity. He does it all.
Yeah, he's pretty much unflappable. He's level-headed, and he puts his teammates first. That's what makes him a championship-caliber superstar.
And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Philadelphia.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
You know, adding on to that, you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game.
He feeds it to Gordon. Curry kicks to Gordon. Back to Curry. Puts one up from 19. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Curry's got 6 here in this quarter.
Stephen Curry amped up on over.
Timeout called, Cleveland.
And you know, guys, Eric Gordon was an unbelievable three-point shooter last season. 45% from behind the arc. The first time he's been over 40% in his career.
Cavaliers making a switch here. Hill's checked in. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
Just a boneheaded play there, guys. Plain and simple.
Well, tell me how you really feel about that, Greg. But you're right. I mean, mistakes like that will keep you from cutting deficits, no doubt.
Nowitzki left side. To the middle. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Arthur. Now Cleveland moving it up to stop the run. And he gets it to go. And that's now 7 points for Hill. The 76ers leading by 18. You know, we were talking about Eric Gordon. He's always had great range, but not always the great shot selection.
You know, and that's a great point because, you know, we see now that he's starting to mature, starting to value every possession. And that's good news for the rest of that team.
Winslow, the pass to Wall. Hill has the open look. That one off the back iron and out.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Nowitzki dishes to Howard. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence. Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation. But, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Here's Wall. He trains the quick shot. Wall's got 6 in the quarter. Philadelphia leading by 16. Poked away. Here's Hill, and it's sent back by Howard. They get it back, and the whistle blows, so that'll be a shooting foul. Great defensive effort there with the blocked shot, but he got more than just the ball that time. Free throws coming up right now. He's off on the first. One thing about Greg Monroe, he is a highly skilled big.
He really is. I love the fact that he can do so much. He can post you up, he can pop out and knock down the 15-footer. He's an outstanding passer, and at his size, those are skills that have served him and his teams well.
Booker, he's checked in for John Wall. Curry against Hill. And that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession.
That's why I got him down there.
Here's Monroe, and can't hit the shot, but they're saying he got hacked, so he'll head to the free throw line.
And guys, Dwight Howard's an interesting guy, one of the most physically imposing players in our league, and yet he's known for his lighthearted, almost playful nature.
Cavaliers making a switch here. Wall's checked in. And for Howard, his parents raised him to keep a smile on his face and stay upbeat, remain positive. He's done all those things and still competed in the rough and tumble world of pro basketball.
Yeah, and yet some of his peers and contemporaries have gone at him. Durant, for instance, Kobe Bryant called him soft. Byron Scott questioned his desire. Guys go about their work in different manners.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for Philadelphia.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
They knocked down their shots. I mean, a little luck didn't hurt either. A lot of their 50-50 shots went in the basket.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Stephen Curry. You can do a lot to change a game other than scoring. It was his quick hands on the defensive end that put them in the driver's seat. And you can sense the fact that they didn't want to let the fans down here. It's been a fun night to be in the building.
Greg, it really has been. I mean, such a lively, vibrant atmosphere, and no doubt that played a part in the big win.
Shot by Wall. Can't get it to go. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. 29 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Gordon kicks to Curry. A three-pointer, no good. Cleveland with the ball, down by 15. Booker the pass to Wall. Now Booker. Screen by Monroe. No good from Booker.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Always important to have that good interior defense.
So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor, and they did that.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Congratulations on this win tonight, Stephen, and tell us a little bit about the driving philosophy behind how this team strives to be the most cohesive unit possible.
To me, it's a commitment, and we know that that's going to put us in good position to win every single night. Is if we bring the effort, multiple efforts at each possession, where you might get beat, but you got to get back in the play. And God's going to help you, you help him.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Stephen Curry. During the second half, it seemed like he was simply on a mission. Really didn't let up.
I will say this about Steph Curry. There is no player in the league more capable of single-handedly taking over a ball game than he is. What I mean is, Steph Curry's hot. It's hotter than anyone else is hot. He can beat you with his feet, his mind, his shot. The only thing you can be sure of is that he will beat you.
Well, his shooting percentage up there in the high 50s speaks to how smart his shot selection was. It was really an intelligent game he played, plain and simple. It's all about protecting each possession, and he set the example for them with his excellent decision-making.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports group.
The way Howard was punching him.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Early season's greetings, NBA fans. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Got Shaquille O'Neal here. Got Kenny the Jet Smith here for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Bulls in Chicago. Looking at the Bulls, they were undefeated against this squad last season, going 3-0. We'll see if they can continue that dominance.
Doing that shit today. That's all y'all got was Paul George in the draft.
Welcome to the weekend, everybody. Let's get it going with NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my colleagues Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Just a single game at home. After this one, it's back on the road for the Bulls. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of the 76ers this year. They were able to sweep the season series last year, completely controlling the play in each game.
Yeah, and they came out with a W every time they played this squad last year. A stark contrast drawn between the conference's haves and have-nots.
Guys, they deserve a lot of credit for not losing focus and letting one slip away. They came to play every time, and I expect that'll be the case tonight.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Steph Curry's out there with Derrick Rose. Then there's Nowitzki. Then it's Trevor Ariza. And it's
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
And, guys, it was a terrific understanding between teammates that made that possible. They really did read each other well there.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play.
Whoa. That'll wake you up.
Is he an athlete or what?
No doubt about it. It's almost as if he lives in the air, and dunks like that have become quite commonplace.
And Beal kicks it over to Schroeder. Feeds to Jefferson. And it's sent back by Howard.
He was really trying to
Shot
go
clock at
Howard.
5. Here's Schroeder. Connects on the 17-footer. Schroeder's got his first bucket of the night. The 76ers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. After a rookie season in which he really struggled, Dennis Schroeder made big strides last year.
Yeah, I think pretty much dramatic improvements across the board, Kevin. Really a most improved candidate for sure. He solidified that reserve unit for the Hawks, in my opinion.
Last game for Chicago, it was a loss to the Magic.
And nothing went well offensively on this night for them. They were just completely disjointed.
Yeah, you could call it the 3 Ds: disjointed, disorganized, discombobulated, or whatever else you wanted to use to describe that would be appropriate.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
And the second free throw, good. And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
Curry passes to Nowitzki. Good, and Curry gets the assist.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Outside for Jefferson. There's Beal with the 3. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Coming into this, having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
Rose kicks to Nowitzki. Again, Philadelphia.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Fred Hoiberg. What did you find out, DB?
He said their scouting report is really all about how to handle Dwight Howard. Obviously a tremendously impactful player at both ends of the court. Coach said, offensively, we always need to know where he is. Defensively, it's always about doing your work early, trying to hold your ground and deny him prime position inside. Sounds like a good plan, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. Scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
With the aggression they're showing early on, I mean, they're driving it to the hoop with authority and force.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
The 76ers making a switch here. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Howard. Anderson comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Gordon in for Rose. Chicago making a switch here. Beal's checked in.
Well, guys, once again, the 76ers finished second to last in the East. Amazingly managed to win fewer games against the East than they did the year before, which was 14 wins in 2014.
Easy layup after coming off the pit.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs it right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Outside Curry. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Gordon dishes to Curry. Lets it fly. Can't get it to go. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. Here's Beal. That doesn't go either for Beal. 76ers have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. The 76ers again can't hit it.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Allen passes to Dudley. Back to Allen. The 11-footer. The shot no good. Gordon with the defensive effort. The 76ers lead. Left side Anderson. Gordon against Allen. Gordon kicks to Anderson. On its way from Curry for 2, and the jumper falls for him. Curry's got 6 points.
Oh, what a sweet stroke from Curry on that one.
Allen dishes to Douglas. Back to Allen. There's Beal with the 3. And it's Miles with the rebound.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Launches it. Can't get the putback. Bulls trail by 3. Allen left side. Inside and stolen by Pekovic. One-on-one here. Here's Gordon. Comes up empty down low. And still a... And certainly an intriguing matchup tonight. Let's hear from Trevor Ariza on his team's mentality coming in. Ariza might as well be describing his own game, Clark. Scrappy, ready to play, ready for anything, ready to claw to get that win.
Well, you know, he does have that kind of all-around, all-out game going back to his days at UCLA. I mean, when you combine that with his talent, he's a guy who, no matter where he's been, his teammates rave about him and respect him.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And guys, what's your take so far in Philadelphia?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work in the defensive end.
So to begin the second quarter for the Philadelphia 76ers, they've got Trevor Ariza. Nowitzki is out there with Pekovic. And it's Rose. And it's Temple in at the 2 spot. Rose kicks to Temple. Left side Rose. The pass to Pekovic. Ariza outside. And he's good on the 3-ball. Ariza's got the lead up to 5 now for Philadelphia.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want. And great effort on the boards, and what a move that was, Kevin. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pump.
Al Jefferson is checked in for the Bulls. Williams comes in for Jared Dudley. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Howard's checked in.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation. Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
Schroeder with the ball, working on Howard.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Always important to have that good interior defense.
And Temple kicks to Nowitzki. Stolen by George. Now here's Schroeder. He's covered by Rose. Here's George. Releases from the wing and drills it. And now just a 1-point 76ers lead. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls, Clark, had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, a 2-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
Jefferson bounces high off the rim and drops. Jefferson's got his first points in this one. 76ers have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. And finished off by Rose.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You're exactly right. I mean, so often when the team gets that kind of explosive play out of its backcourt, that can really rally and galvanize the whole squad.
It's stolen by Allen. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Outside Jefferson. Jefferson missing again.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Exactly. I mean, no way you expect him to miss that shot.
Rose. And again, it's Philadelphia.
Rose, get this.
Schroeder with the ball. He's got 5. And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, and understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Beal comes in for Allen. And it's Udrich in for Dennis Schroeder.
You just let him come in like that?
76ers will go for a different look here. Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for Nowitzki. C.J. Miles comes in for Trevor Ariza. Eric Gordon, he's checked in for Garrett Temple. And it's Stephen Curry in for Derrick Rose. Curry's shot is good. Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, take it himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have maximized that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play with.
Curry kicks to Anderson. Williams with the steal. 3-on-3. Anderson with the ball. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. Nikola Begovic is checked in for Dwight Howard. .107 left now here in the second. Now the feed to Beal. Dishes it to Udrich. Up top, Dudley. 5 to shoot. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. George makes it off the glass. George has got 10 points.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
Curry attacking. Chicago grabs the miss.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right on. Yeah, they've gone away from the triple as they look to protect this lead.
Yeah, you know, sometimes that can be a mistake, but they weren't shooting it especially well early on, so I think it makes sense to shy away from the triple.
Begovic with a screen. Right side Curry. From 12 feet out. That's good. Curry's got 4 points in the quarter.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending.
That drops.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
It's all tied in Chicago. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, guys, I'm here with Al Jefferson, and Al...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. The second quarter. And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just about...
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
Well, how about Paul George in this one? He's got 10 points and 1 steal as well.
And if I had to pick what he's done best today, I'd probably lean towards the offensive performance.
Well, just to be a contrarian, I'm going to go to the other side because he's been just as impressive, I think, at the defensive end.
We've got Al Jefferson. Paul George is out there with Marvin Williams. Then there's Bradley Beal. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Here's Jefferson. Boom, he jams it straight down.
You know, he's not your typical NBA center in terms of height, guys, but he plays as big as any of them, thanks to his incredible bounce ability.
Curry passes to Howard. Fades, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron. Chicago trailing here. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often. A winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
On its way from Rose for 2. Not enough on that one as it misses.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Schroeder with the ball. And Curry picks him up defensively. Pulls it from the elbow. No luck. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game is the first and last of their homestand. And a foul on the shot got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. One thing that can be said for Dirk is that he has been incredible in terms of an ambassador for the game. We know he's a Hall of Fame player, but what he's done off the floor and just everything for the European player coming into this league has been groundbreaking.
And Kevin, for me, he was an inspiration. I mean, he really opened the doors for a lot of European players to come over, and not just come over, but to be impactful. As you mentioned, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that really has set the stage for this infusion of making our game truly global.
And, you know, you think about Dirk's impact. Certainly the NBA saw more and more European players come over after Dirk. He wasn't the first Euro, but he certainly has been perhaps the most popular.
Ray Allen, he's checked in for Paul George. Outside Curry. He kicks to Rose. He dishes it to Howard. He feeds it to Nowitzki. Just 5 to shoot. Howard, the pass to Curry. Another miss by Philadelphia.
And one thing that should be noted with Dirk and his opening up of things with Europe, we now see a lot of American players go to Europe to play, to develop skills, and so on. Both leagues benefit greatly from the impact of Dirk Nowitzki.
And it's Rose missing. For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Beal's shot is good.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But boy, that was a nice job.
And the shot is good. The Chicago lead has been cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Stephen Curry. Schroeder with the ball. He's picked up by Ariza. Rose against Beal. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. And the 76ers shooting it very well tonight, around 57%. Rose against Williams. Back to Nowitzki. Curry kicks to Howard. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, Dwight Howard had that back surgery, and he's had knee trouble, and he is no longer playing as Dominic Clark as a player we saw back in certainly his younger days in Orlando.
Yeah, but nonetheless, Kevin, he's still in the conversation for best centers in the NBA. I think he remains a superstar big man when he's healthy.
Here's what Philadelphia is going with right now. Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for Nowitzki. C.J. Miles comes in for Trevor Ariza. And Gordon subbed in for Rose.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor. And you remember back in Orlando, Dwight Howard, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, not to mention a slam dunk title. He's lost some of that lift, but still has more than just about any other center in our league.
Now here's Dudley. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Gordon dishes to Anderson. Curry outside. Curry with another miss.
And Howard missing a lot of time last season with various knee issues. He's taken his training and conditioning regimen to a new level, it looks like, to kind of preserve his body for the long haul.
That puts them in the lead. Miles has got his second basket of the night. Third quarter, guys, and this has been a neck-and-neck game.
Sure has been. I mean, guys, momentum is hard to come by in this one. I mean, it seems like one team gets the lead, and then the other one storms right back.
Both teams getting it done defensively, as evidenced by the 8 lead changes thus far.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Took him no time at all on that one. And now it's a 3-point Philadelphia lead. Bulls have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. Udrih, the pass to Dudley. Kicks it to Udrih. To the middle. Here's George. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was so on fire.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Kicks it out to Gordon. Philadelphia moving the ball around. And the basket by Curry.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
11 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. The 3. Shot is off. That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting neck-and-neck game. Philadelphia ahead. They lead by 3. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us.
Time to get it.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. Here's Schroeder. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. Taking a look at the 76ers. Trevor Ariza out there with Nowitzki. Then there's Gordon. And there's Bekovic. And it's Rose in at the 1 spot. Shot clock at 6. And it's Schroeder missing. The 76ers leading by 3. Rose kicks to Nowitzki. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
High-ass art.
11 points for Nowitzki.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and hitting them up.
Love the mentality there, I tell you. I know I've never coached, but, man, playing to win and being aggressive even with the lead as opposed to being safe and going into prevent offense, I'll take the former all day long. Play to win.
Looking for Bekovic. He gets it there. Puts up the baby hook. Rebound by the Bulls.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Top of the key, Dudley. No good off the front iron.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Outside Rose. Nowitzki outside. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8. Bulls trail by 6. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin. Defensively, they can't afford to back off of him that much. You don't want to be giving up easy threes, especially at this stage of the game.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. It's been a hard-fought game, and he just wanted to give his guys a chance to catch their breath, saying, listen, we're right there. Let's make a push right here, put some pressure on them. Let's come out swinging. Kevin?
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well executed. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Here's Howard. And too long on the shot. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Shooter passes to Williams. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's his first foul. Bradley Beal's checked in for Chicago. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Picked by Williams. Here's Beal. And again, Chicago. No good. The 76ers leading by 3 to the left wing. And Rose wide open. He shoots. Rebound by Williams. Bulls have gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
And it's Rose penetrating, and the basket good. And the 76ers lead by 3.
And how about the move he made there to come up and get himself clear in the lane for the deuce.
Schroeder kicks to Jefferson. Schroeder passes to Beal. And it's Eric Gordon with the foul. That's his first foul. Curry's checked in for the 76ers. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Picked by Williams. Shooter passes to Jefferson. Just 5 on the clock. Plenty of daylight on that shot. Now Curry. Nowitzki a screen. Here's Ariza. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got his 3rd assist on the night. Chicago calls timeout. One guy who's been getting it done so far, Stephen Curry.
He's in one heck of a groove with the scoring. They're going to talk it over and try to figure out how to slow him down.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through Paul George. When coach addressed the guys in the huddle, his message was clear. Quote, he's who we want getting the bulk of the touches. He is who we want making our decisions. Guys, we'll see how coach's direction pays off as this one winds down. Kevin?
Thanks again, Doris. Down low, here's Curry. Score the basket is 8 for 13 from the floor.
He is setting this place on fire, fellas. His shooting has been off the charts.
And Curry and Rose is a nice combination.
Chicago calls timeout. They're losing by 3. There's 1:38 left in the fourth quarter of this one. There's 1:38 left in the fourth. Kept alive. Another shot, and Jefferson with the lay-in. Jefferson's got 6 here in this quarter.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
Curry dishes to Rose. Pass to Nowitzki. Outside Curry. Pulls up on the wing. And good! Curry's got 21.
He's such a clutch shooter, Kevin. He just lives for the big shot.
Chicago calls timeout. They're trailing by 3. There's 1:17 left to play here in the fourth. And George kicks it over to Schroeder. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. And he gets the bucket. 9 points for Williams.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Rose with the ball. Now Beal defending. Clock at 6. Here's Curry. And the 76ers get it back. And so here is Chicago. They trail by 1.
Well, Paul George has been sensational.
Come back.
What a big possession right here.
No doubt about it, guys. The tension is palpable.
Here's Howard. Buries it.
It's a scary sight when Howard starts lighting it up like this.
32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. To the paint. Good.
Boy, just look at what Jefferson is doing.
26 seconds left in the game. It's Curry with the drive. Good.
No question about it. Curry is on fire right now.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're down by 1. 19 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know what? Enough time that they can run whatever play they're most comfortable with.
Definitely. I mean, they're in good shape here, in my opinion. Shot clock's off, but still enough time left on the game clock to really run your normal set here.
There's a screen by Williams. Shot off the screen. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, those free throws make things a little more simpler right now. They just have to guard against the three-pointer.
So it's Philadelphia taking the W in a close one here. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Dirk, during that second half, what brought the conviction the team showed that allowed you guys to win this thing?
I think we just battled, and that was good for us. I thought that really won us the game down the stretch. We scrambled for each other, we rotated, got a couple lucky bounces down the stretch, and that always helped.
Dirk, thank you. Kevin, it all starts with that competitive.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation. Player of the game, Stephen Curry.
There was nothing they could do to slow him down, Ernie. Man, going to a building on the road and completely control the action like he did, only a few players could. I'm impressed.
I think he's made over 60% of his shots. I don't care if you're playing one-on-1 or one-on-5. That is a great percentage.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for